Welcome students, ninth standard, Maths part 2nd, lesson number 2 is parallel lines. You have studied in 8th standard, parallel lines, this lesson parallel lines and transversals. Now what is meant by parallel lines? Consider two lines P and Q, and these two lines have common point R. These two lines are called as intersecting lines. Now consider another two lines L and M. If we produce these lines in this direction, then these lines are also intersect with each other. Therefore, these lines are also called intersecting lines. These are also intersecting lines. Now consider two lines. These are two lines R and S. These are not intersecting lines because distance between these two lines is the same. So these lines do not intersect with each other, and these lines lies in the same plane. So what is meant by plane? Plane is a flat surface which can extend infinitely. That flat surface is called as a plane. So these two lines lies in the same plane, means they are coplanar and do not intersect with each other. So the lines which are coplanar and not intersect with each other are called as a parallel lines. Parallel lines do not intersect with each other. Now the next point is a transversal. Suppose we have given two lines L and M, and we draw a third line N, and this third line intersects lines L and M in two distinct points P and Q. Then line N is called as a transversal of lines L and M. So what is meant by transversal? Transversal is a line which intersects the given two lines in two distinct points. Now consider two parallel lines P and Q, and this is the third line R, which intersects at points A and B. Then R is a transversal of parallel lines P and Q. Lines may or may not be parallel, but the transversal must intersect the given two lines in two distinct points. Now consider two lines P and Q. These are intersecting lines, and this is a line R. All these lines intersects at point A. Then R is not transversal of lines P and Q because R intersects the lines P and Q at one point only. So transversal intersects the given two lines at two distinct points. This is about transversal. Now consider two lines P and Q. They are intersecting lines. If we produce they in this direction, they will intersect each other. Now consider their transversal are. Then total 8 angles are formed: A, B, C, D. These 4 angles, and E, F, G, H. When two lines are intersected by a transversal, 8 angles are formed. Now these two angles, angle D and angle B, are called vertically opposite angles. Angle C, angle A are called vertically opposite angles. H and F, vertically opposite angles. Angle E, angle G, vertically opposite angles. And these vertically opposite angles are always congruent. So pairs of vertically opposite angles, number 1, angle A, angle C. Number 2, angle B, angle D. Number 3, angle H, angle F. Number 4, angle G, angle E. These are called vertically opposite angles. And vertically opposite angles are always congruent. Angle B congruent angle D, angle A congruent angle C, angle H congruent angle F, and angle E congruent angle G. Now angles in linear pair. Angle B and angle C are adjacent angles. These two angles are called angles in linear pair. Angle A and angle D, angles in linear pair. Angle D and angle C, angles in linear pair. Angle H, angle E, angle H, angle G, angle G, angle F, angle E. These are angles in linear pair. Angles in linear pair are supplementary. That means sum of the angles in linear pairs is 180 degree. Angle A plus angle D is equal to 180 degree. Angle D plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. Angle C plus angle B is equal to 180 degree. Angle B plus angle A is equal to 180 degree. Similarly here also, angle H plus angle G is equal to 180 degree. Angle G plus angle F is equal to 180 degree. Angle F plus angle E is equal to 180 degree. The sum of the angles in linear pair is always 180 degree. That is, angles in linear pair are supplementary. Now the next point is corresponding angles. Angle A and angle E are corresponding angles. These angles are on the same side of a transversal and on the same side of a given lines. Angle A and angle E are on the same side, right side of a transversal R, and they are on the up side of angle line P and line Q. Such angles are called as a corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. There are 4 pairs of corresponding angles. Angle A, angle E. Then angle B, angle F. Number 3, angle C, angle G. Angle D. Number 4, angle D, angle H. These are the pairs of corresponding angles. If any one pair of corresponding angles is congruent, then all the pairs of corresponding angles are congruent. That means if angle A congruent angle E, then angle B congruent angle F, angle C congruent angle G, angle D congruent angle H. Now the next point is alternate angles. Now let's draw figure once again. LM and ABCD EFGH. Now alternate angles. Angle B and angle H are alternate angles. There are two types of angles: alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles. The angles which are on the opposite side of a transversal and in between two given lines are called alternate interior angles. In between two lines L and M and the opposite side of a transversal. So angle B, angle H. These are alternate interior angles. Similarly, angle C, angle E. Angle C, angle E. These are also alternate interior angles because these angles are in between two lines L and M and on the opposite side of transversal, that is cross angles BH, CE. These angles are, if any one pair of alternate angles is congruent, then other pairs are also congruent. And the second is alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles. The pairs are angle A, angle G, angle A, angle G, angle D, angle F. Now look at these angles. Angle A and angle G are on the opposite side of transversal. This is on the right side and this is on the left side of transversal N, and these angles are outside of the lines L and M. Such angles are called alternate exterior angles. Now let's see interior angles. The angles which are on the same side of transversal and in between two given lines are called interior angles. Interior angles. Their interior angles are angle B, angle E, which are on the same side of transversal and in between the two given lines L and M. And number 2 is angle C, angle H are also interior angles. If one pair of interior angles is supplementary, then the other pair of interior angles is also supplementary. In this way, we have studied about parallel lines, their transversal, and when the two lines are intersected by transversal, 8 angles are formed, and the types of angles: opposite angles, angles in linear pair, corresponding angles, alternate angles, and interior angles. This we have studied in 8th standard. Now next point is interior angle theorem. So what is that theorem? If two parallel lines are intersected by a transversal, The interior angles on either side of the transversal are supplementary. Here line L and line M are parallel to each other and line N is their transversal. Then angle A and angle B are interior angles. Angle C and angle D are also interior angles. Then angle A and angle B are supplementary, means angle A plus angle B is equal to 180 degree. Also angle C plus angle D is equal to 180 degree. So we have to prove here angle A plus angle B is equal to 180 degree and angle C plus angle D is equal to 180 degree. Here we consider three possibilities. We consider three possibilities. Number one, angle A plus angle B less than 180 degree. Number two, angle A plus angle B greater than 180 degree. And number three is angle A plus angle B is equal to 180 degree. Now consider possibility number one, that is angle A plus angle B less than 180. If angle A plus angle B is less than 180 degree, what will happen? If we produce the lines L and M on the side of a transversal where angles A and B are formed, then this line will intersect each other. But we have given line L is parallel to line M. Therefore, it is not possible line angle A plus angle B less than 180 degree. Therefore, we write if lines L and M are produced will intersect on the side of transversal where angle A and angle B are formed. But we have given line L parallel line M. Therefore, angle A plus angle B less than 180 degree is impossible. Let this is the equation number 1. Now possibility 2, angle A plus angle B greater than 180 degree. Now let's see, angle A plus angle D is equal to 180 degree, angles in linear pair. Angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degree, angles in linear pair. So we write angle A plus angle D is equal to 180 degree, angles in linear pair. Suppose this is equation number 2. Angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. This is also angles in linear pair. This is equation number 3. Now add equations 2 and 3. Adding equations 2 and 3, we get angle A plus angle D plus angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degree plus 180 degree, 360 degree. Therefore, angle C plus angle D is equal to 360 degree minus in bracket angle A plus angle B. But we have assumed that angle A plus angle B is greater than 180 degree. If angle A plus angle B is greater than 180 degree, then the term 360 degree minus in bracket angle A plus angle B will be less than 180 degree. So we can write angle C plus angle D less than 180 degree. Now what happens? If angle C plus angle D is less than 180 degree, then if lines L and M are produced on this side, they will intersect. But here given is line L and line M are parallel lines, therefore this is not possible. So we write if lines L and M are produced, will intersect on the side of transversal where angle C and angle D are formed. But line M, line L parallel line M, which is a given. Therefore, angle C plus angle D less than 180 degree is impossible. Therefore, angle A plus angle B greater than 180 degree is impossible. This is equation number 4. First possibility is impossible. This possibility is impossible. This possibility is impossible. Therefore, this possibility is true. Now, possibility 3. Possibility 3 will be possible. A plus B, angle A plus angle B is equal to 180 degree is true, and reason is from equation 1 and 4. Similarly, angle C plus angle D is equal to 180 degree. Thus, if two lines are parallel and they are intersected by a transversal, then the interior angles formed on the same side of a transversal are supplementary. That is, sum of their measures is 180 degree. Now next point is corresponding angle theorem. The corresponding angles formed by a transversal of two parallel lines are of equal measure. In the figure, line L is parallel to line M and line N is their transversal. Angle A and angle B are corresponding angles, and we have to prove that angle A is equal to angle B here. Now proof. Let's see. Angle A and angle C are angles in linear pair. Therefore, their sum will be 180 degree because angles in linear pair are supplementary. So we write here angle A plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. Angles in linear pair. This is equation number 1. Now think about angle C and angle B. These two angles are interior angles on the same side of a transversal, and interior angles on the same side of transversal are supplementary. Therefore, their sum is also 180 degree. So we write here angle C plus angle B is equal to 180 degree. It is a property of interior angles formed on the same side of transversal of two parallel lines. Suppose this is equation number 2. Equation number 2, its right side is 180 degree. Equation number 1 and 2 has its right sides 180 degree. Therefore, its left sides are also equal. So we can write here angle A plus angle C is equal to angle C plus angle B. Reason is from equations 1 and 2. Here CC will get cancelled. Therefore, angle A is equal to angle B. Thus, we have proved corresponding angle theorem. If two lines are parallel, then the corresponding angles formed on the same side of the transversal, that is, are of equal measure. Next theorem is alternate angle theorem. Line L is parallel to line M and line N is a transversal. Then the alternate angles are here angle D and angle B, and we have to prove here angle D is equal to angle B. Now angle D plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. What is reason? Angles in linear pair. This is equation number 1. Now angle C plus angle B is equal to 180 degree. Interior angles of two parallel lines. Property of interior angles of parallel lines. This is equation number 2. In equation 1 and 2, right side is equal 180 degree, therefore its left sides are also equal. Therefore angle D plus angle C is equal to angle C plus angle B. Angle C will get cancelled, therefore angle D is equal to angle B. Here we write from equation 1 and 2. Thus, alternate angle theorem is proved. So what is that theorem? The alternate angles formed by a transversal of two parallel lines are of equal measure.